We're now past the halfway point of Chapter 3 and we'll be diving into the mission advertising the New American Art Part 2. This mission has just a few objectives: get 5 headshots on Lemoyne Raiders in the Saloon, maintain at least 90% accuracy throughout the mission, complete the mission without using any health items. I'll be tackling this during a regular playthrough, which means Arthur will have full health and Deadeye cores, a definite advantage. If you're doing this on a mission replay, you might have access to better weapons depending on which you've unlocked. Plus you'll receive a generous supply of tonics to boost your Deadeye, making it easier to meet the accuracy and headshot objectives. Because I have the advantage of doing this on a regular playthrough, I can also make sure I have my favourite repeater with me before we start. The mission begins just outside Clemens Point, where we meet up with John and Hosea. Hosea explains that he has planned to dispose of the moonshine the gang obtained during the mission American Distillation. Next, we need to drive the wagon to Braithwaite Manor. Please don't skip this next part, because along the way I will give you some very important information about the objectives. One of the key objectives is to complete the mission without using any health items. This means you cannot eat, drink or use any tonics that restore health. Additionally, if you die and respawn, it will count as using a health item, requiring you to restart the mission from the beginning. However, Deadeye tonics are allowed and can be used freely. For the other objectives, you need to maintain 90% accuracy throughout the mission and get 5 headshots while in the saloon. To keep your accuracy high, make sure you don't miss your shots. Always wait until your reticle turns red before firing. Using Deadeye will really help improve your chances of success. If you need a refresher on how to manually tag targets and manage your cores, check out my other guides linked in the description. Use Deadeye tonics as soon as the outer bar of your Deadeye depletes to prevent the inner core from turning red. A red Deadeye core will significantly lower your accuracy. I will explain more about this when we get to the saloon shootout. After visiting Catherine Braithwaite at the manor, she asks us to head to the saloon to sell the moonshine during a brief cutscene. Next, we have another Ride to Road saloon where Hosea comes up with a plan. Arthur will pretend to be Hosea's brother, acting as if he has trouble understanding things, to make the act more convincing. Let's skip ahead to when we enter the saloon. The next part of the mission has you serve drinks behind the bar to the patrons. This is pretty straightforward, so I won't go into any detail on how to do it. Just follow the game's instructions and you should be fine. Once all the drinks are served, the Lemoyne Raiders will enter the bar after a brief cutscene. This is when the 90% accuracy and headshot objectives come into play. Once the action starts, Arthur will be positioned behind the bar and you will need to get at least 5 headshots in before leaving the saloon. It can be a bit tricky to spot them, but using Deadeye to manually tag your targets will help you ensure headshots and maintain your accuracy. If you're unsure whether you're going to hit your target, cancel Deadeye and try again, just like I'm doing here. Make sure to keep an eye on the outer Deadeye bar and use a Deadeye tonic before it runs out. You cannot let the inner core turn red, as it will severely affect your accuracy. Once Hosea says, "Where are you, Arthur?" you know it's now safe to exit the bar and head for the stairs. At the top of the stairs, an enemy will always burst through the door. Wait for him to appear and then take a headshot. Afterwards, move to the left to save Hosea from another enemy holding him and take them out with a second headshot. After saving Hosea, 2 more enemies will appear in the doorway ahead. Be ready to use Deadeye and take them out with headshots. Once these are dealt with, it's now safe to follow Hosea and jump over the railing to get back on the wagon. Don't forget to replenish your Deadeye tonic whilst you can.
I'm getting us out of here. Ain't gonna let this go.
You're not out of danger yet, as more enemies will come after you. Keep in mind that you still need to maintain 90% accuracy. The headshot objective only applies to the part in the saloon, so don't worry if you don't land headshots on these enemies during the escape.
You pair of bastards! Behind us, Arthur, coming out of the alley. The moonshine.
You need to act quickly to dispatch the enemies, or they will target the moonshine and try to destroy the wagon you're riding in.
How many are there? They really aren't happy about the...
Keep an eye on the red enemy awareness indicator on your minimap to help you track the direction of the enemies. The next wagon coming up, you can actually target the red dynamite at the back, which will destroy the wagon.
That's him, Train! I see it!
Just as a reminder, make sure your reticle is red before taking out enemies. The 90% accuracy requirement is unusually high for this mission, so you can't afford to miss any of your targets.
Good! Keep at him, Arthur!
Once all the enemies are taken care of, we'll pull back up near Clemens Point. After a brief cutscene, the mission will be complete. If you enjoyed this guide and it was helpful for you, let me know in the comments section. I've included links to the Gold Medal series and other guides in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.